Hi everyone, how are we all feeling? This match was such a roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. It literally started as a match which at one point looked like we are going to lose. Then at one moment, it looked like, okay, maybe it's going for a draw. Then yesterday, after Bumrah's magnificent spell, it looked like, oh, we have a chance to win this match. And now we have lost it. I mean, especially even since the even since after second session, after the first two sessions, after Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rishabh Pant's brilliant batting in, especially in the second session, it looked like, oh, this match is going for a draw. So to lose a match from there, I don't know. It's been this match has exhausted me so much. So many different moments which turn the match in different ways, and I still can't believe that. I still can't believe we have lost the match. To be very honest with you, um, I mean, after Australia's first innings that day, and when India were 5 wickets down on stumps on day two, I was kind of prepared that maybe, okay, we are heading for a loss. Then things turned around, and there were hopes, there were expectations, and then yesterday it almost seemed like, okay, we have a chance to win it. We are not settling for a draw. We might go and win the match, but for it to end in this way, it's just so disappointing. I don't know how do you feel? I know everyone's disappointed because we were not supposed to lose this match, right? We were supposed to win. We were supposed to no, I don't know when we were supposed to win or not. At least I thought we might win, but at least we were supposed to draw the match, not lose the match, especially after Yashashvi and Rishabh's superb batting. Oh, losing the match just hurts so badly, and especially for Yashashvi, I feel so gutted. When he got out, I feel so gutted because in both the innings he batted brilliantly, and then for him to not have the century, and okay, even if he did not have the century, the fact that even after his brilliant performance with the bat, the fact that we could not draw the match and we actually ended up losing it, just makes me so disappointed. And talking about HHV, of course, I still don't understand this whole controversy. I mean, yes, when I saw the out, the decision on the screen, it kind of looked to me, yes, the ball has touched the gloves, but the on-screen umpire did not give out. And then they went to the third umpire, and the sneak also showed no significant spike. It showed no spike at all. But then for the third umpire to say that, okay, there was a deflection, and since there was a deflection, it should have touched the gloves. And I think he saw the front on angle, and it seemed like, okay, the ball touched the gloves, and then it took a deflection. But then that made me wonder, like, was a deflection substantial evidence to decide whether someone's out or not? I mean, is that something that we should accept going forward in the game? Because if we have brought in technology, and we keep saying that Sneeko, I mean, I know technology is never 100% accurate, but we keep saying that Sneeko is pretty good. And then when both on-field umpire did not rule it in favor of the bowling team, so they said it's not out, and then Sneeko did not show a spike, and there was no substantial evidence to say that, oh yes, this is out. I mean, yes, as I say once again, that it really, even to me, it looked like the ball has touched the gloves from the side on angle. It looked like, but then I even heard the commentator saying that it might be an illusion, there might be a gap between it. And then from the front on angle, the umpire decided that, okay, there is a deflection, so since there's a deflection, it must have touched the gloves, and on that basis he gave the decision to rule him out. But that just made me question that, are we going to allow these moments to happen in cricket? I mean, should the rules not be a bit too I don't know what to say. I mean, the rules to be a little bit more defined. Like, what are we going to do in these situations? Because for me, that moment kind of was a game changing moment. If Jaiswal wasn't out, we don't know, we could have actually gone and drawn the match. So, and of course he looked disappointed, so many of us were disappointed. And then what's the point of using technology um, if we are not going to rely on it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know people can have different opinions on it. People can say, oh, it pretty looked that the ball touched the gloves. And I know it looked the same to me as well. I know I'm talking too much about this one point, but I think this one point is so important because it changed the whole course of the match. It changed the whole dynamic of the match. And I don't know. For me, I think since the on-field umpire had given it a not out and Sneeko had shown no significant spike, I mean, no spike at all, and there was no other significant evidence to overturn the decision, it should have remained a not out. But then maybe that's just me, and if I'm saying anything wrong, feel free to tell me about it. And just if there's some rules I'm missing, if there's something wrong that I'm talking about, because I'm just disappointed. So it might be that I'm just yapping and blabbering and just blabbering a lot of nonsensical things. Just feel free to correct me. But to me, it shouldn't have been given an out. And no, I'm not saying because I wanted India to not lose, but of course, even if there was someone else in that position, I might have ended up saying the same thing. And then again, even for the next wicket, it looked like, I mean, Sneeko picked up that spike, but to me it looked like there was a clear gap between the ball and the bat. But again, then Sneeko picked up, and everyone said that, oh, Sneeko has finally woken up and started working again. It noticed two different sounds, one when it touched the bat, like there's the inside edge, and then the pad, I think. But when I was seeing, I was like, oh, there's a clear gap. Where did Sneeko pick that sound up? But then again, it's so difficult to understand technology, right? Because, yeah, that's the thing with technology. It can sometimes make you feel like things are not going in your favor. I mean, that it is not accurate when things don't go in your favor. And when things go in your favor, you're like, oh, yes, technology is so good. We should keep using it. But yes, as I said, I know too much of talking about this. I don't know what else to say because I mean, there were too many moments in the match which I think played an important role. Because of course, Nitish Reddy's brilliant knock in the first innings was something that brought India back into the match. Because at one point, after Australia put up that huge total of 400 plus, and then we had 5 wickets down, it kind of seemed like, okay, we will not be able to put up a big total. There might even be a follow on. Although I felt that Australia, even if that situation arises, Australia might not enforce a follow on. But even apart from that, it kind of seemed like we are going to maybe the match is going to end in 3 or 4 days. But then brilliant batting from Nitish, and of course complemented by a very good performance from Washington Sundar with the bat. Both of them played so brilliantly on day 3 and brought India back into the match. And then even our bowlers, like especially Jasprit Bumrah, and very well complemented by Siraj after that magnificent performance yesterday. It looked like, okay, 91 for 6. The lead, even the lead wasn't that big. Okay, we are coming back. Maybe we'll win it. So it all went from, okay, we're losing it. So, okay, we might be drawing the match to, oh, okay, we might win it. Then again, things started turning. We could not get Australia bowled out before the end of stumps. And of course, a good partnership between Labuschagne and Pat Cummins. Of course, Labuschagne was so lucky, but then that's what sports is about. Sometimes luck is on your side, sometimes luck is not on your side, and luck was just on their side yesterday. And a few fielding disasters from Yashasvi Jaiswal. And yes, we can kind of keep saying that, okay, he made it up with his batting performance, but those things actually can never be compensated that way, because had those catches been taken, had Labuschagne been out much before, maybe the whole match would have turned out a different way. It would have taken a different route, a different path. So yes, so many different things could have happened had those matches be taken. And as people keep saying, you drop a catch, you might actually potentially be dropping a match. Maybe that has happened, maybe that has not happened. Even if the catches were taken, we don't know what would have happened. Of course, there are always ifs and buts, but of course we have to be more proactive in the field. That is a given fact. You cannot be you cannot have lapse of concentration there. You cannot drop those easy catches, and that's not just for Yashashvi, it's for everyone. Like, fielding has to be better. And yeah, it's pretty sad that we could not bowl them out yesterday, but I think even the pitch wasn't offering anything. Like, yeah, I mean, after a point of time, it looked like the pitch was pretty dead. Nathan Leon and Scott Boland became pretty comfortable at one point of time, but also that makes me feel the fielding setup could have been a bit more attacking. I mean, a lot more attacking. Like we saw today, Pat Cummins and the whole Australian team, the fielding setup they had even for the batters down the order, it was such an attacking setup. And I don't know. I mean, we should have done that. I don't know. I mean, it looked like even for yesterday, even the commentators were saying, and even I was discussing with a few of my friends and even my dad, that why is the fielding setup so defensive? Like even for batters who are like coming so lower down the order, why is the batting? Why is the fielding setup not more like aggressive? Why are we not putting pressure on the batters more? Why are the fielders so spread out across the field? It's okay, let's leak a few boundaries, doesn't matter. Like even today, Australia did leak a few boundaries for a few fours here and there, but that did not matter. The wickets ultimately came because there was so much pressure. They put so much of pressure on the batters of the field setup. Like literally, how much pressure you have when you just feel like there's so many batters around you, so many fielders around you, and that creates pressure on the batters. So I think I was pretty disappointed with Rohit's captaincy yesterday regarding that. I felt that that attitude, the fielding setup, everything should have been a bit more aggressive. Yes, I have a few comments here. So I'll just, that was not out in my opinion. Yes, as I said, that was not out in my opinion as well, especially as I said, there was no conclusive evidence to say that, oh, it is an out, so the decision maybe shouldn't have been overturned. It's not going to help when Rohit and Kohli are walking wickets. Bumrah, Yashashvi, Nitish were so good. Yeah, definitely. First, to answer the second part of your comment, Bumrah, Yashashvi, and Nitish for me were the standout performers in this match. And in fact, Yashashvi and Nitish have been our best batters in this whole series. And I think they're the ones with the highest number of runs, those two, first and second. So yes, they're pretty young, playing their first Test series in Australia. And they've been so good. They have shown resilience, they have shown commitment, they have shown dedication, they have shown aggression, they have shown patience, they have shown everything that was required. So both of them are a terrible finds, and I'm so glad that India has players like them who so the future looks bright. But now to answer the first part of your question about Rohit and Kohli, it's so difficult to talk about them because, you know, the moment you say anything against them, it looks like, oh, you're criticizing them, you're criticizing the legends. What do you know of cricket? They have done so much for the country. And yes, I know. I have so much of respect for everything they've done for the country. I have so much of respect for the players that they are. They're superstars, and of course, who am I to talk about them? But then, as an Indian fan, it gets me so disappointed to see them put up one disappointing show after the other in matches. Of course, one might end up saying that, okay, Virat scored a century in Perth. Yes, he did. But then when we required him to be there on the pitch, not get dismissed, he disappointed. And the disappointment with Virat is that he keeps getting out to the same kind of ball again and again and again. And I have said this before in my videos as well, that one point that is so disappointing to me about Virat is that he is getting out to outside of some deliveries so often, and it just seems like he still hasn't been able to find out a proper solution to deal with it. I don't know. I mean, a player of his caliber, of his stature, of his skill should do better. And especially today, I was watching the match with my father early in the morning, and Yashashvi and Virat were batting, and my dad and I were discussing that, okay, if these two can bat the whole of first session and then a bit of the second session as well, then India, like my dad is a bit too optimistic. So he said, like, if they can stay on the pitch in the first session, maybe till a significant part of the second session as well. They might even get the chance to get a bit more aggressive and even try and go for the win. But I was like, no, they can't. I don't think they going for the win, because it literally looked like they were playing very defensively. So they were trying for a draw. They were most probably settling for a draw. And yes, I mean, yes, of course, I don't know. Virat was doing good initially, and then even in the first innings, the same thing happened. He was doing good with Yashasvi, and then after that run out. Oh, that brings me to the run out. I just want to say one thing. That was again, like as I said, there are many things that I'm disappointed about Virat, but I saw people being so angry on him for Yashasvi's run out, and that is one thing which I did not understand, because I personally felt there was no run there. So Yashasvi should not have gone for that run. But yes, you could say that Virat should have been looking at his partner on the pitch. He should have been more alert, more careful. But to blame him for that run out makes no sense to me. I wouldn't say that was a fair call to criticize him, because there was no run and it was almost the end of the day, and you should not take the risk of taking those singles, especially when you're batting so good, the good partnership is developing, it's the end of the day almost, you should not be risking that. So, but yes, again, Yashasvi is pretty young, and he's just getting all these experiences, and of course he's so skillful, so all these experiences are just going to make him a much better performer, a player, a batter in the future. So that is one thing. But then yes, regarding Virat's performance, I don't know. I mean, I still feel that it's not time for him to retire yet, to be very honest. But I kind of feel like from tests, but I still feel like maybe again. I know he's a big player, but I still feel like if things are not going his way, the way he would have wanted, or fans like us would have wanted, why not play a little bit of domestic cricket as well? That's just me. I don't know why domestic cricket is kind of neglected, or we don't put so much importance to it, or we're like, oh, he's such a big player, he should not, why should he play domestic cricket? Fair enough, but now that performances are not really backing you, so why not? I mean, who knows, that maybe a bit of domestic cricket might just help him out, because we need players like him, we need experienced veteran players like him. So for me, I think maybe Virat should play a little bit of more domestic cricket, but then who am I to say? But yes, pretty disappointed with his performance. Every match I feel, okay, maybe Virat is going to show the player that he is, because as we all say, form is temporary, class is permanent, and I still believe in that. I am a huge Virat fan as well, but yeah, pretty disappointed with his performance. And regarding Rohit, I think I should rather not say anything, because that just might look like I'm being too critical of him, but I'm really disappointed with him as well. Yeah, because I don't know, Rohit has just been so poor, and that has not just been now. The Bangladesh Test Series, the New Zealand Test Series, the Australia Test Series, his poor performances are just continuing. Like even as an opener, then even when he batted at number 6 in the second test, and also the third test, I think, yes. Even then, he did not impress at all with his performance. And then, as I said, I'm pretty disappointed with his captaincy, because the entire fielding setup yesterday made me just think, like, why are we being so kind to the Australians? And yes, so yeah, that's the comment. And I don't know, maybe again, it's me saying, and people can have different opinions about it. Maybe it's time for Rohit after this series to call an end to his test career. I still believe he has a lot of cricket left in him, in the white ball cricket, so he can perform there. I still think, yes, he has that in him for a couple of years more, maybe. But test cricket, maybe not. And we should be giving young players um, more chances. And again, one more thing I was just thinking, that uh, regarding the selection, the team selection. So of course, many player people were saying that okay, we can have Nitish Reddy in the team, but would that be a balanced team? And then Nitish Reddy, of course, proved it with his batting. As I said, that was such a great performance. But also, I was thinking, like, on Australian soil, do we really need two spinners? And two spinners who were not really contributing too much with the ball. So, like, even for Nitish Reddy, he definitely contributed with the bat and he did his parts. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I completely agree that he did his part. But was he just included as a batter? If he was included just as a batter, then maybe he should bat he should come to bat before Jadeja, right? But if you're playing him as an all-rounder and if he's not contributing with the ball, then how do we go about with that? And even like with Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar playing two spinners on Australian soil, was that a good call, or should we have played just one spinner and maybe we could have given Harshit Rana a chance? Maybe that again would have been a wrong call. I don't know, but I was just wondering if we could have played with three seamers and one less spinner. And also, as I was saying about the team, like the team selection, that also brings me to the coaching staff. Like, how much blame should we also put on the coaching staff? And like, is Gautam Gambhir to be blamed or not? Because yes, of course, again, people might say, of course, he wouldn't be. How can Gautam Gambhir teach players not to miss catches? How can Gautam Gambhir teach players to decide which balls to leave and which balls to play for? I know those conversations, but like still, like, how do you plan to go about with the game? Like, I don't know. I just feel like even in the like batting department, there's something missing. I mean, I don't know. I'm an amateur, and what can I even say about the batting coach? But just seems like Rishabh Pant. Of course, he played so well today. Again, that shot could have avoided, in which he got out finally. But after after Sunil Gavaskar got so angry on him after his first innings dismissal, I think today Rishabh Pant took all of those things into consideration and he was pretty calm, patient. He was not playing rash shots. He was playing his defense was good, and he was patient and calm. He was doing what he was supposed to do, and so that shot could have been avoided because the whole batting collapse started from that part. The whole batting collapse started from Rishabh Pant giving his wicket, and again, I think that could have been avoided. I don't have too much complaints about him today. Because I feel like he did enough, but still that could have been avoided. So yeah, about the batting, like how do we go about with the batting when there are situations like this? So I don't know, like what do you think? How much is it the coaching department's responsibility to tell people about this? And yes, again, just so pretty disappointed with everything today. I was just having a discussion with my friend after second session, and we both were like, "Oh, this match is drawn. We have finally come from a place where it almost looked like after day one that we're going to lose it to a place where we're going to draw it, and then we ended up losing it. And with this loss, the World Test Championship contention final contention for the World Test Championship final again becomes bit more challenging and difficult because if Australia win the match in the next match, if Australia win, so they will qualify. I think that's what I mean. I completely don't remember the qualification scenarios, but if it's a 3-1, if the series ends in 3-1, I think Australia qualifying, and even if it's 2-1, like if the next match ends up in a draw and it's like a 2-1, even then I think Australia's chances would be higher. Again, if I'm wrong, just tell me. But of course, this loss was something which just made it more difficult for us to qualify for the final. And South Africa has already qualified. And, I just, again, no disrespect to South Africa, they're a brilliant team. But I always say, if South Africa is in the final of any ICC tournament, so whichever team is qualifying against them are going to be the winners because they are generational chokers. But no, I'm sure that's not the case. Maybe it's their moment this time around. It might be their moment this time around. We don't know. But yes, but this loss was not desirable. This loss. How did we come to this? I don't know. But there are also a few good moments I want to talk about, especially in Nitish Reddy's century. And after that, his father's emotions. It's good to watch. I know I'm just saying random stuff at the moment, but of course that was also one of the highlights of the match for me because there were so many discussions about his selection. We know there were former Indian players who were questioning his selection, who were a little bit in doubt about whether he should be a part of the playing 11 or not. But then he proved his caliber. Um, he showed what he can do, and then his father being so emotional about it, so happy about it, how much it means to a family when someone from the family does such a huge thing on the global stage with so many people watching, so many people appreciating. So yeah, that was good to watch. And about the Virat Kohli Sam Constance moment, well, what are my thoughts about it? Hmm, what are my thoughts? Actually, to be honest, I am someone who loves aggression on the field. I have seen Saurav Ganguly, being a Bengali, I've seen Saurav Ganguly's aggression on the field. My father has been a big Saurav Ganguly fan, Dada fan. I've been too, and so I've grown up seeing Saurav Ganguly's aggression on the field. I've also loved Virat Kohli's aggression as a captain on the field. 2018 was something that I absolutely loved. So I'm not someone who would be like, oh, you don't need to be aggressive. No, you need to be aggressive, especially when it's against Australia. I'm all up for it. But that being said, I just felt like that shoulder barging was something that could have been avoided. I mean, to show aggression, you don't maybe need to go to that extent. But again, there was another argument which I heard which made no sense to me. So people were like, "Oh, he's going up against a 19-year-old." That age argument made no sense to me, because when you're playing on that level, everyone is the same. You have got selected to play in the first team because you are capable. So you are competing against big players, legends, superstars. So you are one of them. At that moment, you cannot say that, okay, I'm a 19-year-old, I'm a debutant, and someone can't be doing that to me. No, that is something, that argument I don't honestly agree with. Whatever happened between two players who were representing their countries on the global stage in a very important match. So let's not bring age into it. That age factor did not make any sense to me. But yeah, that is it. And also, Virat Kohli getting angry when the fans were abusing him when he was walking down the tunnel. Of course, completely against that. I anyway don't understand how do fans even get the audacity to disrespect or abuse players that way. No matter whether it's Virat Kohli or someone else, they are there because they are good enough. That's why they are representing our country in that position. So for us to be disrespecting and what do you say, disrespecting and abusing them, just absolutely, it's a no-no. But that being said, sport, or being not just sport, like sport, movies, any profession which makes you be a part of the public eye, is always challenging, because you will get hundreds of people praise you, appreciate you, be your fans, talk about you, tell the world how proud they are to be your fans, because of how great you are. But then that would also guarantee a lot of people criticizing you, especially when you are not doing good. So when a movie fails, when an actor does not get movies, people say, oh, he's a flop actor, he's not getting movies, his movies are a constant box office failure. So there would be a lot of criticism. Similarly, in sports, if you're not performing, if the performance does not show, people just get the opportunity to disrespect you. Again, completely against it, but I think it's two sides of the same coin. If you can take the appreciation, you should also have the ability to take all the disrespect, although you need not take the disrespect. But I'm saying it's just two sides of the same coin. Fans, I don't think, would ever rectify themselves. They just feel like, as I said, they have such audacity to question people like that. But you could just avoid showing your emotions to that. Like, I mean, I don't know. I was like, if someone disrespects me, how would I feel about it? Would I go and confront them? Maybe not. Maybe I don't have it in me, but that does not mean Virat should not. Of course, you have no right to disrespect a player. But as I said, the moment he starts performing, people will stop doing all these things. Again, performance has nothing to do with someone getting the opportunity or the right to abuse you. But yes, maybe he shouldn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just for his good. I'm saying that if he starts performing, everything will anyway stop. Um, yes, so the last match at Sydney will be pretty crucial because that's kind of like now for us to qualify for the WTC final, India need to win that match. There is like no other things, like no draw, nothing to for us to better our chances to qualify. India have to win that match. So we should just go into that match with this whole mentality of like, yes, we need to win, and they should think a lot of things, how they plan the playing, how they plan to go about with the playing 11, about how many bowlers they would want, like pacers, spinners. Of course, I'm sure they do a lot of studying themselves, but I think they need to get every single thing correct. There is no way they can get anything wrong, because that is almost kind of a do or die match. Because of course, still there are hopes. It's not like we have completely out of contention for the WTC final, but we cannot get anything wrong. And yeah, before I end it, I think just one more thing I was just thinking. So, how much are we missing Mohammad Shami? A lot, right? His injury has been terrible for us, to be honest, especially in overseas conditions, because he's an experienced player. He has had the experience of playing here before, showing his potential. So we are definitely, India is definitely missing his experience. But that being said, that also brings me to this one point of when Shami kind of recovered and he was playing in the Ranji Trophy. He bowled quite a number of overs. It seemed like, okay, when there were these reports and rumors that he might be joining the Indian team, and even Rohit Sharma said that that might happen. But then he started playing in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, I think, and then suddenly we hear that he has a swelling in his leg. But then did the team, or like did his team, like his coaching team or the teams that he was playing for, that he plays for in the Ranji or the Vijay Hazare, was it also not their responsibility to manage his workload? Because I feel workload management is so important, and that is also something I think Team India should be thinking about. Jasprit Bumrah, yesterday after his final over, he looked so exhausted, because it looked like there was so much of pressure and responsibility on his shoulders. And of course he did live up to um, the expectations we have from him. But that being said, it also scares me that if there's too much of pressure on him, if there's too much of responsibility on him, I just don't want him, uh, that I don't want that to maybe what if he gets injured? What if there's too much of workload gets him injured? So that workload management, I think Team India should be really concerned about, especially with pacers. We cannot risk injury to Jasprit Bumrah in any way. So I think this should be something that Team India should be considering. But yes, that is all that I have to say. I know I yapped a lot, I blabbered a lot. I'm just so disappointed, and I'm sure everyone else is. But yeah, let me know if people who have joined me on this live. Thank you so much for joining, for the comments. Thank you for interacting with me. If you haven't watched this live, when the live is up, if you watch, and if you have your opinions, any thoughts, anything I said wrong, you want to correct me, or if you have your own thoughts and opinions to share, please feel free to do so. And yeah, let's just hope that in the next match we can make a proper comeback and we win the match and we level the series. So yeah, we don't want to lose the BGT, right? Yeah, okay. Have a good day. Don't be too disappointed. It's all part of the game, and we will be back soon. Have a good day. I'll see you later.